Hey up guys, S-Man back at it again with a brand new video. Today we are reviewing another episode of Horizons. Now before that I get that out of the way, I do want to thank you all so much for being here and liking and subscribing all these videos and sometimes leaving the comments. I appreciate it all and I thank you all for getting me the 500 subscribers. I do want to have a proper video where I celebrate this accomplishment. Maybe I go to the mountains and do something funny. I don't know how I'm gonna relate it to Pokemon because I do have a trip to the mountains planned up. And I do want to share this just experience to the YouTubes to keep the memory alive. And I think I want to tie it into 500 subs because that's also a very important key. So I want to kind of try to combine these two important things that have recently happened. So yeah, expect a ski trip video where it's legit just me and some friends and maybe a bit of Pokemon. I want to try to incorporate Pokemon because the same day Captain Pikachu does come to Pokemon Go, so maybe we can play some Pokemon Go on that mountain. But yeah, with that just quick announcement out of the way, let's just get right into this review. And yet again, thank you. Now that I'm done with that little ramble, let's talk about the episode. I don't know how I feel about it. I like what this episode brought to the table with Dot and her mother, and just Dot's whole backstory and her development of deciding to stick with the Volt Tacklers at the end. But I don't know. This episode felt like it was missing something. The entire time I was sitting there throughout the episode, I'm like, okay, when's the next scene? And then it just ended. It ended. I'm like, okay, this is one of the first episodes in a while where it's like I watch it and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I love everything about Dot in this episode. Her mother's whole personality and just the overprotectiveness that she is. To Dot's whole backstory, which I will discuss in a bit. But I still don't know how to feel about this because there are parts of the episode where I feel like nothing really happened. There's a whole segment where Dot's mother is just talking to the crew and really nothing comes from it besides her learning she doesn't know a lot about her daughter and just we're developing how a mother she is. But yeah, let me just recap the episode for you guys so you guys can better understand my thoughts. So basically this episode starts off with Tinkaton causing problems on the ship and Dot trying to solve it. That's a funny reoccurring thing because it gets Dot out of her room and she's been consistently having to deal with this. Then Murdoch goes to help his niece along with Liko and Roy, and they're all chasing it around the ship. Meanwhile, Dot's phone is being blown up by someone. It is actually her mother, who is with Threed heading to the ship. Now, I did watch this episode without subs because a lot of the time subs don't come out till well later. So I'm definitely going to rewatch this episode with subs to better understand how I feel about it. But this is basically what I got from it. Once Threed and Dot's mother arrive on the ship, she reveals to Dot that she's actually here to end Dot's trial basis on the Rising Volt Tacklers, where she reveals is that she wanted Dot to get this experience, so she let Dot go on a trial basis, and now she kind of wants her daughter home. She's afraid of her thing or something. We had an episode like this before with Liko and her father. I do like how overprotective the mother is, because especially how Murdoch is overprotective. I like just the whole thing, and I do really like Murdoch's whole dynamic with his sister. I wish we got to focus more on Dot's dynamic with the mother and Murdoch's dynamic with the sister. That is the one thing I wish this episode gave, because that's what I felt like it was missing. Like I said, oh, I don't know, it was felt like it missing something. That's what it feels like it's missing. Just whole Dot's mother, because this episode is basically in 3 parts. Liko, Roy, and the rest of Volt Tacklers talking to Dot's mother after Dot runs off, upset that she might have to leave the crew. Dot telling Liko and Roy her origins, why she joined the crew, and then Dot fights the mother. That's really how this episode goes. Not much interaction between Dot's mother and Dot until the very end. But yeah, I also think it's interesting and kind of relatable how Dot was keeping things from her mother, like the fact that she's now a Pokemon trainer and that she is Nidothing. And I do like early on that we saw hints of how she was inspired to become Nidothing, and I hope we get a full-blown story of how Dot and Iono became friends, because I really like Iono. Iono was probably my second favorite gym leader, Paldea, and I love the fact that Iono has now been in a speaking role for more episodes than some of the Galar characters were for Journeys. I just think that's incredible. And I wish more characters, specifically Nimona, get treatment like this. I want to see Nimona again. She hasn't been around since episode 10. I just think we need more Nimona, but that's my own personal thing. But yeah, moving on to Dot's origin. I love it. I love seeing these rising Volt Tacklers' origins of how they joined the crew. I want an official one for Murdoch and Molly instead of them hinting why they joined the crew and just regular backstory for them. I'm waiting. We know how Freed, Orla, Ludlow joined. Now Dot. We need Murdoch and Molly soon. But basically, the story was Dot is this reclusive girl, similar to herself, who's pursuing her passion for making videos. That is, when researching for a video one day, she stumbles upon Freed's research and his whole website on, I guess, grass types in a specific area. That is when she leaves her room to go get something, when she notices Freed just asleep on the couch. Yep. This is where I need subs. I have no clue why Freed was there. I'd probably something to do with Murdoch, but was Murdoch on the crew at this point? Why would he be at Dot's mother's house if it was something to do with Murdoch? Unless Murdoch also lived there or just wanted to visit his sister. And also, why wasn't Murdoch with him if he was just literally just sleeping on their couch? And we know he's a rising Volt Tackler at this point because it's recent. Dot is still the same age as she is now. This just weirded me out. But Dot actually impresses Freed with her tech skills because he was having a glitchy thing, technology problems on his phone for his website. And she fixed that, and that impresses him, so he invites her to join his crew, which she declines, or considers. That is when she actually tunes into Iono's live stream and fangirls out like Liko. I love this. I love how Dot is an Iono fangirl and now one of Iono's good friends, similar to how Liko used to be a Nidothing fangirl and now is one of Nidothing's few friends. I just love this parallel. And I love the fact that she got asked for life advice in the chat and then freaked out when she got the answer, like how Liko did it in that episode where she asked Dot about how she'd make friends with Dot. I love Iona's response and how well Dot took it. Because when she watched Freed and the Volt Tacklers fly away, she realized she could change her life, explore the world, and get out there. And I just love that now we're at a point where Dot has realized this is what she wants to do. When starting her time on the Volt Tacklers, she was locked in her room to the point where they were just sending her in food, and they still do to this point. But now, because of Liko and Roy, she's actually experiencing what she set out and wanted to do. She's experiencing the world, making these life experiences, and using it for content. I just love. And Dot's mother also sees this. That is why she challenges her to a battle to better understand Dot's thought process. And I gotta say, this battle was pretty good. I do like it, but there's one complaint. How is Dot gonna get more wins in 2 episodes on screen than Liko and Roy have the entire series? How are you gonna do my guys like that? But yeah, Dot has a really intense battle with her mother where they both put up their hair. I guess it's a family trait. Maybe Murdoch does it too if he wasn't bald. Maybe he had hair at one point, who knows? But yeah. Dot is getting destroyed because of her approach at the battle when she realizes that she has to think of an alternative way to get around Counter. That is when she has Quaxly on purpose miss so he can go in for the bottom after learning Low Sweep. That's right. Quaxly learned a new move, which I like this, but the fact that it's Low Sweep is getting me nervous. I don't want Quaxly to evolve. Please. Please. If Low Sweep is like a hint of it becoming Quaquaval, I'm gonna be so sad. I don't like Quaquaval that much compared to Quaxly in its middle evolution. I don't even remember what it's called. I just don't like vibe with Quaquaval like that. But yeah, after winning the match, Dot's mom allows her to become a full-time Rising Volt tackler, and the day is saved. I like this episode. This episode is very generic, but I like it for Dot's development, and this is basically just the stepping point. Dot is realizing it's her time, and I feel like it's time that Dot gets the respect she deserves and gets to be a part of the trio of Liko, her, and Roy. But then next episode, she's not even in it, and it's just Liko and Roy. Yay! Overall, I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. It definitely had more things that I liked about it, but just, I don't know, it felt like repetitive of the whole Liko episode with her father, but like kind of like better how it was approached and how she got to stay. But I still like that episode better because I feel like Liko's father's worries were more justified compared to Dot's mother's worries. Yeah, your daughter didn't text you back, but to be fair, she's a antisocial girl. You think she was gonna text you back? Well, compared to Liko being hunted down, and that's more reasonable here. Also, why is Shreed just friends with everyone's mother? I swear, if it's revealed that he's just like friends with Roy's mother, who Roy probably doesn't even know who it is, that's gonna be crazy. Also, speaking of Roy's mother, what if it's Gita? I don't know why. I thought of this crazy theory that I want to make a video, so I'm not gonna spoil it here. But that's all you get. But yeah, I don't really know where to go with this review. This episode just left me a little confused, and I don't know what to say really. So this is more of a scattered mind review compared to my other ones that are kind of more exact of what I'm trying to get across. But hope you guys like this video. Subscribe for more content like this in the future. Leave a comment about your thoughts on this episode. Alright, S-Man signing off.